soon has spawned. Care, finding the flank, goes through the equalizer. Xiao trying to get himself away, and he does. Escapes the Ragnarok, and if Olaf doesn't attack for long enough, it becomes a problem. Both summoners used, goes into the overheat, but I think Olaf wins these low HP fights, and he does. Not a care in the world, but one on the Howling Abyss. He wins the 1v1. Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2. It's going to be a contest on top, so of course Sheer doesn't have the ult. Very unlikely for there to be anything. Shouting to build something different, justify it with your gameplay. Justify it with your playstyle. Hunt going towards the top side. Oh, flash pull, headbutt into the wall, and an ignite comes down. Pantheon's here for a bit of extra support as well. Who do they give the kill to? They give it to Tien? Yeah, why not? Give your first kill to the jungler, keeping their head in that jungle matchup.
Looks like
surprised.
Yes,
they did.
They did on blue side. Tends to be my assumption with the way those work. An equalizer coming on down into the exhaust, try and keep Breathe alive, but it will be too little avail.
Yeah.
Turn up as violence occurs. I chose right.
I'm not afraid to pull the trigger.
Might be in danger. He's hit with a Vault Breaker into that Relentless Force combo. He needs to back away at some point, and the double pulverize might give him a bit of time to run away, but that ult times out. And Kara's donated another kill. Use the flash that top side. Tien now in a bit of trouble. Really wants to secure this. Can he get it in time? I don't think he can.
No.
And Shadow gets onto him. Tien, I think lucky to get away without his flash there, actually. And of course, the recall comes through on the top side. No, wasn't seen. Wasn't seen. There was no threat there. There was no threat. There's Wavo, which is something which you get less of from what have I just hung? How's ult? Tank up the tower. Sheer is in danger, headbutted into the wall, into the pulverize, into the sheer vault, and there is absolutely nowhere he can go. He says, alright, waves. Flash back over the back of the pit. Shadow will be claiming this dragon. It'll be second dragon for FPX, and that objective feats of strength. By the way, there's now teleport in! With the Grand Starfall, can't find the Steel Shadow, and he needs to try and find his way out of the pit. It's trying to be body blocked, does get over, has a blast cone. Should be able to get out to safety.
Oh, really good attempt. Extra flanking ability to deal with things. Ari coming down to hover the plate. This W's got to be good for Breathe.
It's not good enough to deny the crash down. Tries to get saved, but the Empress Divide Shore, he falls. Xiaohu, though, with a bit of support, might look for the 2v3. Kaisa coming on down as...
case, Weibo just lose one on the bot side.
I'm backing on the dregs of a ward here, and Shui was in danger. Headbutted into the wall. Xiaohu got a hold of the charm for a second or two, pulls him out of the crash down.
Flash.
And he may be forced to burn that flash. Can still keep looking for it. Jway, I think, is just dead.
Wow, doesn't even pull it. Wow. Very surprised that Jway doesn't go for the flash W. Even more gold over to care on the Azir. It can be a real menace later on because Weibo don't have a lot of ability to tank up that Azir. Let's be honest, most champions don't in general, but still not having attack versus Azir, whose DPS can be very, very high. Bit of a problem there. And yeah, Weibo, a little bit off the mark with some of their plays coming through into this mid-game.
They are 2-2. Falls away. Shadow now around. Xiao, who has to flash, doesn't have the ult, remember, so that's just going to allow a lot of people to come on in. Still, though, Light was trying to find an angle, will not quite manage to do anything there as if they get the Kai'Sa ult on in, and Hung flashes away to safety, but the Ahri is dead to rights.
Great trigger pull by FPX. Great trigger pull. This first pick Vi, this is why you see it so often. There are a lot of power pieces.
Care is so strong. Another turret having gotten another kill.
Yep.
This Azir is set up to be an absolute emperor, literally, in this game. The Liandry's now done as well. Very, very scary on this mid lane.
The Azir and the Kai'Sa are going to be very, very hard to deal with cleanly. The Rumble ultimate will be able to respond to your pick attempts too. So if you try and pick one of them off, it's a problem. And right here, Hung has to blow his ult. Doesn't have a flash. That's a dead cow.
Headbutt pulverize. The bullet time buys some time, but Magnet Storm in trade allows for a very swift kill on that Alistar, and with the man advantage, Care and Shadow head straight onto this Atacama.
Alistar caught out just between things. Weibo will trade for the top lane turret. Weibo, one of the pioneers of giving up Atacama for something on the other side of the map, even when it was very strong in the split one. Atacama, that demonic figure, unleashed on the side of FPX.
Converted suddenly into a field of roses, which will be to instead try and play for some of this mid lane control. Light Xiaohu. Wave clear here, I think, so we can test FPX. Second item, Jonathan found the bullet time combo with that pulverize after, but don't get the kill. Now the turnaround comes flying on through, and Tien is just dead. Xiaohu, with the ult still running, can look to potentially kill someone off the back end of his way. Is low, will flash away. Stays alive, so does Sheer, though. They get a nice equalizer back, though. Breathe throws down the Hallowed Mist and will prevent too much of the burn. Needlework traded out as Sheer looks to find a chunk of his own.
Weibo's front line is so conditional. You have to use the Pantheon Aegis Assault, the Gwen Hallowed Mist, or of course that Alistar ultimate. It is so easy to misstep on that. FPX can pull those triggers on a hair trigger. And right here,
what flashes here is Xiaohu threatens with a charm, but they can't turn that into a kill, and the equalizer immuned, yes, by the Gwen, but that's about it. It's Breathe now in danger, gets crashed down on. And that Hallowed Mist will keep him alive for a second or two, but Weibo giving him quite a lot of force. I think FPX have overplayed this one. Shadow stays alive, but no, Hung dies too. Both supports suddenly falling to their opposite members.
I think both teams choose not to contest. Weibo find themselves into bot river, but FPX will go towards the mid lane turret, and now they're the ones retaking the pit. It's very much like a Valorant CSGO.
They'll try and get on in there, can't get in there in time to fight for the dragon, but the fight afterwards might give Asuma a lot of answers. Cleanses off the exhaust, flashes out to safety, another knockup, and Weibo Gaming are left to the wolves, or at least the Sand Soldiers, as Care finds another wonderful ult.
Emperor's Divide onto 3 at the end of it. Triple kill to Assume, and Weibo get their dragon, but already get this monstrously fed Azir even more gold. Weibo, that was, for me, their last chance into this game. I think they just misstepped on it.
There's a tier 2 up in this bot lane as well. The unsurmountable deficit. We'll try and find an angle now as I speak about it. This might be the last gasp of death. Equalizer comes on down. Sheer will go golden, but he's caught in the middle of a lot of members. The snip will come on through. Misfortune gets that one, but Light is left out to dry, snuffed out. They get another back though. Kaiser is down. That's giving resets over to this Ari, who suddenly got free space. Finds a shuffle, does Care, puts up the turret, try to play out this fight as a 1v2. Care does some heroics to save the blushes.
Tien has flash. Tien has flash, and they have one last Ariel as well. Can they go towards it? Dash away. Tien can flash over onto him.
Shield bolt in. Charm is denied by the statue. But where does Care go? Gets a few more autos down. But Weibo Gaming get the ace.
Weibo with some magic in the team fight. How the hell do they end up fighting the way?
Fake pressure achieved by putting up temporary structures.
Yeah, now Dragon's going to get started on spawn. FPS wants to take the fight in the next handful of seconds before that becomes an issue.
Tien gets chunked, but of course he's got a GA. Should be alright for now. Hung, though, in the middle of everyone in danger. Way into the backside, so is Assume. Cease and desist on the line, they're dead! They're all gone! Weibo Gaming! Gaming no more!
The Azir turret in the mid lane cuts off the retreat for Light. Thought about heading back into it, but can't head back into his own half of the map. FPX don't even need the soul, and they'll march towards a game 1 victory.
Turrets gonna swiftly fall here to the maxed damage of FPX. The inhibitor turret was very short order. The Nexus afterwards, and FPX come into this game swinging. Can they convert it finally into a series win, though? They have been caught at the 1 game margin so many times this split.
Helps you survive in later game teamfights, double long range AD carry.
It's been a while since we've seen a Thresh even, honestly. The champion we see loads and loads of in the current meta.
With your ultimate. So we need some help in the early game. Jway flashing forwards, has that hook, the Hex Flash. Now this is a problem. He's just Hex Flash, gets hooked into the play, and Ignite gets dropped. A slow comes down, and here comes Shadow. Jway's gonna go down. Can anything more be achieved? Tien has Flash. I don't think there's gonna be anything more from this. You get that root, there is an instant hook gonna come afterwards. Tien goes into bot side jungle, river rather. Flash available on Jway. I don't think this is a fight that they necessarily want. Remember, you don't have that ultimate and there are the chompers. Jway goes down, but Assume can get a reset. They must disengage now. Dink starts running at them. Kag has level 6. Hung doesn't have Flash, and that's 2 kills very quickly over to Shadow's Lilia. Weibo, they missed their opportunity to catch out maybe with a Flash Gravitum Snare onto Assume and force the fight in better terrain. Gravitum root as well to get through into a red weapon, into a green weapon, into your white weapon. It changes the game completely. So watch out for those mini mechanics. We'll recap on that, of course, as we go through the game. This will be on your test. Dragon goes over to the side of FPX. Let's see, lethality has become very popular after a while, going towards that collector. He doesn't have that maxed out right now. Goes towards the AD, of course. Xiaohu starts to cut things off in the pass, but now he's left in a 1v3. Oh, he misjudged that angle. Xiaohu, no Flash. Assume will get a very quick reset, but on the other side, Weibo want to force something of their own. Breathe gets himself into the backline. Tien is not tanky enough, and it's a 2-for-1, with the Grubs likely going to FPX. Assume has the last of that excited and lands a slow. That might lead to a couple of issues. Like, does he have his ultimate? No, he used it earlier in the fight. Breathe wants to take one back. They're still going into a Jinx who has the last of the lethal tempo. I can get another reset. Breathe. Oh, he's gone too deep and can't kill Care. Double kill over to the Corki. Weibo lose their heads and lose their minds around the Grubs. Onto the Lilia. Playing against a resetting Jinx is very difficult, even at this part in the game. It allows them to reposition, which is a big thing, of course. And then Breathe tries to get onto Care to trend something back, and it's just, hang on a second, what's happening on this top lane turret? 3-man dive on the picture-in-picture. That's a pretty fair, well, pretty tanky Scion. Be able to clear out the wave. Knows he's not making it out alive, but on the other part of it, at least he clears out the wave. Breathe doesn't have his ults. Lanson, used by Cap, takes aggro briefly. Can't get the kill, though. And Breathe can intercept the wave potentially. They'll just be able to walk around the other side of the turret, though. Can Breathe get himself enough wave clip? It's half of the wave. Can he get more of it? Have to chase him a little bit further to get that hard-earned cash. Assume could cast his ult down here. Big one hits. Assume will clean up with the fish bones. Another kill to the Jinx. Still, they are consistently inconsistent, is the moniker we gave to them. I think the big thing about facing a team like FPX is that a lot of our Group Ascend teams have assumed that they don't have to prepare that much for them. They'd rather prepare for BLG, for JDG, for anyone's Legend Toppies or Side G. And instead, FPX are kind of left as help players like Care, like Sheer at points, like Assume at points to be a big carry. Seems having a good day today. This Kai'Sa in game 1 was very strong. 205 now on the Jinx. That's a hook into the box. The ultimate goes on to Care, though. Is he going to be in range? No, he hooks him out of the fucking Ambassador ult. Oh, Hug, what have you done? What have you done? The Infernum's not going to make a big deal of difference. The Q over the wall put Aphelios into danger. Hook over the wall. The Thresh Express goes towards the Krugs. And they'll have to flash away. Didn't want to be in there. Sheer, very tanky. Full HP complement from the Scion. Hook missing over the wall. Assume it's still free-firing. Can they get another reset? That'll be the big difference. Yes, they do. Assume gets the move speed, gets the attack speed, and that's a flash forward to go onto the flashless Aphelios that Lilia goes towards too, and Assume is resetting once again, but he's gone into melee range. Is that going to be enough? That lethal tempo, that Jinx. Oh, it's magical. Some might even say arcane. Triple kill to Jinx. Bad now. Ooh, Jinx ult goes a little bit wide. Back into live. Do we actually have a proper engage? That's a Valkyrie cancelled out by Care. Does have the flash. Tien getting good damage down there. Hung once again getting down to low HP, but has he done enough? Assume is low HP and had used those summoners the last fight. Maybe FPX overindulged in that last play, but here comes the Lily around the back of it. Do they have enough damage without their Jinx, though? Perhaps they do. Sheer goes down. Currently, 4v3 on the map as Breathe will go down. That is a very loud Corky Gatling gun. For some reason, the audio has gone very, very strange as Cat keeps going forward. Light goes into melee range with that onslaught. But can he get away from Shadow? One last Q, not even needed. The burn comes through, and Shadow gets a Lanson out to safety. What the hell is happening as the game sound is gone? The crowd's still going loud. But Weibo come away with the one fight because Assume doesn't have the summoners. Why are we still hearing the Gatling gun? Why do we still have that? What? What? Oh god, it's so loud. Back into live. And we have fixed audio. Hung going over the wall. Actually not. Assume no flash. This Jinx without flash. In a much more precarious spot. Hook misses. Flick back onto the Scion. He's in front of the Aphelios now. Gets the rifle turret. That Calibrum Crescendum. Very, very nasty. And it's Hung that goes down first. What the hell was he doing there? Shit, doesn't even have to worry. That's a good precision ult. And Tien gets himself the Dragon. That's an important steal. Stops FPS getting towards that one. Assume is taken down. However, the 3-man sleep comes through. Tien trying to buy time. The Swell Seed pops it. It looks like the damage going the side of FPX. Assume is dead though, so no resets to come through. Shadows Lilia. Huge value. Saves the back end of the play, even if they don't get the Dragon. And the Thresh as well. I will say, not that impressed with Assume and Dway managing to keep the Jinx safe with Lanterns. Getting that flay onto the first person into the fight. One of the big problems with Thresh and why he's not been in meta is that he does get picked off as that first target so quickly. Atacon now available. FPX, only 1,000 gold ahead of the curve now, but Assume it does have flash. No cleanse, of course. Not as useful, I suppose, in this game. Actually, not very useful at all, thinking about it. Doesn't matter against the... It only matters against the Aphelios. Only 1-5, and the problem is, when Nautilus is in a game, Jinx is happy either way. Either it's your Nautilus, and you'll start off for the play. Atacon's going to go down. FPX give up the contest. Ruinous Atacon taken. The flowers will be taken by Weibo as well. They'll trade that for what? They don't have pressure in bot lane. Mid lane turret's already down. For vision control, I suppose. But then the other side of the Nautilus is that if he's on the other side, Nautilus often dies first too, giving you a reset. Oh, ult in from Sheer into melee range. Some of that dust going on to Tien. Does Shadow pull himself the ult? No, he doesn't. Sheer trying to pull the front line again. That's a flash forwards for the lilting Lullaby, but it doesn't lead to that much. It's just a bit of disengage. Xiaohu, though, caught out, and maybe FPS can use that instead. Light has the caliber crescendo. He has those rifle turrets. How much damage can he do? Stacking up that lethal tempo, assume getting a reset. Cap has that flash, has the Valkyrie, and he'll get himself a kill. In and out, the Corki daring Bombardier gets himself the teamfight participation he wants, and Jinx cleans up Weibo. Oh, Weibo. Falling behind several thousand gold now behind FPX, despite the Atakan take. Baron will go over, and FPX might be eyeing a 2-0 if they keep this up. I think the only thing I was talking about was the Jinx W. It's the only thing I can remember. And if I talked about Swell Seed, I'm not sure I referred to it as that. Anyway, I can't remember. Either way, Drank's the tower's going to go down. Care caught out on the side lane. And that was a go button for them. One of the carries down. Traded, of course, for some pressure in mid lane to get Care's mistake. But what it does is it stops a lot of the Baron push. It's only 1,000 gold lead right now. Can they walk away and get... They do have 5 grubs. Tien around the side. Remember, no flash on his team still. And Care's not in the fight. Oh, that is not a good contest from FPX. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. Call an ambulance. And definitely for Sheer, that's a good Swell Seed, though, on the backside of it. Assume doesn't have the ultimate, and they do get the reset, though. Goes inside that prop. The ultimate from Tien. Is there a route left? Yes, there is. It gets a little bit of delay. Shadow, so much damage, though. In spite of the start of this looking good. Oh, it's a mess. Jinx go down. Aphelios dies in return, though, and Care is the last remaining carry. The ult misses from Breathe. Oh, that could be so critical. Breathe gets the Eclipse and gets the damage. Misses the ult, but gets the cleanup. Weibo find themselves somehow a 4-for-3 fight. Still nice to have that for that first target kill. Death cap for Talia. Can that be a difference maker? Swell Seed under threat. Shadow gets just a single one onto the Ambessa. Doesn't lead to that much. Light peeling back. Has the red-white. Wants to get himself those chakrams into a target, but it's going to be the reset first. Care jumps forward. Tien has to pop the ult, and I don't think it's going to be enough. Tien goes down. So does Sheer, but I think the difference has already been made. That's Zhonya's from the Watch Out Eep. What makes the difference again? And Light, though he gets it all over the wall, can't make the difference. Breathe flashing forwards. Can he kill Jinx? Yes, he can. Powder goes down, but there is a second AD carry. And FPX will clean up the fight, get themselves the Infernal Soul, and Weibo, oh Weibo, cannot win out the late game fights. Care have human Care. Very, very hard. Captain Jack from Light on one side of the fight, which I missed when they were killing out Tien. Shadow flashed forward, gets that W into the Zhonya's for the full Watch Out E damage. Care flashing away. That summon is so important here. Breathe flashing forward, sees an angle on. Baron for free onto FPX. Almost full build in the LPL. Shadow coming in and bringing a sense of leadership, a sense of a go button. Yes, he misses every so often, but Shadow is so important for this team and their ability to carry. He starts the fight in important ways. Swell Seed over the wall, misses out onto the carries, but makes them back off from the turret. Get excited from Jinx. From that tower definitely helps. Remember, still no summoners. Care taking a lot of random damage from the flamethrower. The Infernum doing so much work. Light trying to carry, but the Swell Seed comes through. The Mega Infernum Bomb gets some damage, and Breathe gets on to Care, but does go down. Assume looking to threaten for a reset. CC misses. Sheer trying to get some frontlining done. Jinx gets the reset, but is it too late? Both of their their top lane in support, taking a lot of damage. As the Lord Dominus regards himself. Look, we're into the point in late game now where a big enough combo from Weibo maybe ends the game. You still have a moment where Flash is down on both AD carries both AD carries. Flash away. Not flash away, flash in. However, Swell Seed lands. That's important. Can they get the kill afterwards? Hung putting his body on the line as Xiaohu lives through the initial engage, but the same cannot be said of Nautilus. 1-for-1 so far, and the Lilia goes down. Shadow goes a little too far. The 6,000 gold lead there makes a difference. The hook goes wide. And this is what we're saying. It's late game enough that FPX cannot stroll into these plays. Shadow goes down. Such an important part of these team fights. However, Weibo still losing bits and pieces of the map. Still an inhibitor down on that top side. On the flank. Level 18 has flash. God, this ambassador is going to do a lot of work. Shadow. One Swell Seed could win them their first series here in Group Ascend. Hook lands. We were away from it. Hung goes down. That's the excitement. Assume, what's the play now? Frontline separated away. Some damage going on to Sheer. The flash forward from Shadow. Light has the cleanse, but there's a Scion sat right in melee range of him.
She can't finish up the kill, but I don't think Light can do that much more. Shadow body blocks the flamethrower, and I think the job is done. Ambessa, the wolf, kept out of the gates, and the Shadow consumes all. Weibo fall to darkness, Light falls to Shadow, and FPX will find themselves their first series win here in Group Ascend. 2-0 for
6 from Setup, and now he can't really go in with level 6 now. Oh, Setup, I don't know about this one, buddy. Trying to get the heal. He dodges out on it. He dodges out on the heal by going into his...
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
10th of the games of Gala and Mako.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. Dragon gonna go down. Now you do have a look in here. Mako on one side of the fight, JJ on the other.
A split. JJ got driven into a wall. There was a bit of a shove back, but Vaishwan has to flash away, trying to get in range for the Dragon's Might. Should be able to get that. Does so. Down that summoner as the collapse comes on through. IG look for that shuffle back on, and then Feather left out to dry as well. And TT try to play both sides of the fight, get neither, and IG get to collapse. Dragon secured, sure,
This
but
is actually better in terms of the get over here.
I agree. I just feel like on Impale, it's a good time to yell it.
100%. Also, I think, hang on a second, Rookie doesn't, walks into Feather. And all those base damages early, do you actually have to respect them. He's now under half HP, popping apart, has the biscuits, he does have Leandro. Oh, that's a good seal away from Beitwan.
Needs to drive on through the wall. Flash forwards for JJ to keep Beitwan in the pit.
Oh.
That's mean. Scorpion saying, I didn't want to be over here. I wanted to be over there.
Brutality. Shy picks up the kill. 3-0 to IG as they get themselves defeated. Scout as well, obviously incredible up there. Basically, you make a list of the good Azir players, and Rookie is not on that near the top list. However, his game the other day versus Topius was absolutely insane. He's been on good form with that. Mako does have Flash Ignite, might have to use them though.
Will pulverize Feather at the end of that. Flash on forward for the staggering blows, though. Beitwan now coming on down, has the Impale available, looking to drive someone into a wall. Flash away, and an ult from JJ keeps the Skarner providing an angle, but they'll still look for another Dredge Slide. Now JJ's in danger, doesn't have a Crescent Guard, will surely die, trying to hold on to the ultimates and won't burn them. Just get the kill. Nice punish from TT there.
Mako. Yeah, stuff like that. Or you've got your Queen's English, which is very clip. Those are your British accents. You have those choices. Turns out we have 50 accents. We have the most densely populated amount of accents of anywhere in the world. And the accent for this one is tinged with death. As it, to one extent, takes half of HP.
There's a densely populated area of feathers, just in terms of Xayah and Feather being there. Public execution from Hoya doesn't quite work. Wanted to catch JJ on the other side of him, doesn't quite do it. Under the turret, there'll be a 3-talon strike. And he's out of there.
Okay, IG, pick up something on the top side. Can't find much on the bottom side.
Well, they are in the river first, but there's some decent wards here from IG, and they've managed to find a way into the river through that bot side tri-brush.
Of course, this is, yeah, level 6 for the Alistair. Rookie walking into the Talia, of course. A bit dangerous there. Flash for Flash.
Flash for Flash went looking for that shuffle. No way to shuffle over the Unraveled Earth freely, so had to burn the Flash to Rookie. And does earn that Talia's Flash in trade. Feather will blast Cone out to safety after Shockdown. And the Scuttle Crab, the clear biggest prize here, secured by JJ. Rookie throws down some more soldiers, uses them for some vision control in that bush, at least temporarily. JJ just about wide on that Dredge. He's going to get so much damage onto the Skarner, who gets knocked up multiple times. The seismic shot comes on through, but it's too little, it's too late. And Beitwan dies again.
Oh, Gala gets to walk forwards too, gets the lethal tempo. This is one of the most dangerous things with Xayah and players like that. People don't realize, look, Xayah is not good at running at you unless she auto-attacks you with W. She just struggles to get in range for that. Once she gets that W up, she gets the extra movement speed. I think it's like 30% movement speed. It's really, really high. Feather has to swiftly leave the scene. IG are just brutalizing TT right now. Setup does have an ult. I mean, the Shy doesn't have his. Okay, this is a dead Shy.
Ibagum, this Scion's not having a great time. Wants the blood of an Englishman. They'll make sure that there's none to be found, and they'll bring down the giant like the beanstalk.
Shy goes down in the top lane. As Invictus Gaming take themselves some pressure on the bot side.
Oh, give over, says Beitwan. Get off that. Gromp goes riding on forwards. Looks for that depth charge. Finds double knock-up. Keep on going. Looking like a crime scene in Donny, this one. Make it look like Yorkshire. And the War of the Roses continues, looking for the enemies in Lancaster. Get over here, won't find it. and they'll back away.
Public execution. Very active from Hoya. Sadly, the impale from Beitran, not quite as much. You do get some summoners away. Maker uses his flash. Beitran going over the wall. Gala needs to be careful. That's a bad recall.
That'll do pretty well. Up into the air they go. Right back down they go after.
Why did he recall there? You know there's a Skarner. Heads through the wall. Gala punished for a lazy back.
They get that punish. The Shy will throw out a Decimating Smash to little ability.
But, yeah, I personally like the Lagoon Dragon. I think it's a fun one. I like the teal on it. Gala misses, dodges out. Doesn't miss out. Gala wasn't casting this contract. He didn't miss out on that. I'm pretty sure he's not missing out on
It could have
losing
been a
that
great
HP.
journey on a roller coaster.
Harold getting started up. TT looking to contest.
Can't find that one. The dredge line comes on in, knock into the wall. Mako in danger. Will get brought over there by the Scorpion. Public execution after Mako's ult, not enough to keep him alive any longer. Blast cone to him, JJ's joined, but is now split up from his team. The Shy finds a Decimating Smash into setup. Flash away from the Shy, who needs to now think about running away. Doesn't have the ult to do so. Flash on forward from Beitran. JJ now trying to dodge away, gets outside of the seismic shot. Oh! Finds the Emperor's Divide he needed. Sets up Gala for many, many more. Wonder from the mid lane.
Divide by 0. Infinite value from Rookie in the team fight. Hits 4 with it as Beitran left to try and get to a blast cone. He might survive, but honestly, it feels like it is just a messenger to try and carry the news of their defeat away. Hoya going to the Shy. Maybe things aren't over just yet.
Keep on going. The Shy goes for Decimated Smash, but there's still some repudiation in the Eclipse Shield. I think that is the Shy just going to die. He overchases and Hoya hadn't reset, but now Gala and Mako coming on over. How much do they want to play for this? Mako looking for a headbutt bomb. Back in range!
He got the slow onto him from the rock thrown backwards. Mako flashes. Oh well, Rookie will close down this mid lane turret. Rookie's mid lane Azir doing a hell of a lot of work in that, getting himself a great fight, and then that's Tower as well.
TP in. Mako kind of caught under here. Takes
Oh,
turret
God,
aggro. I think
Mako.
Mako might be in danger, but he doesn't have the ult. Hoya doesn't have the ultimate of his own. Dredge line just wipe, but does land that sundering slam. So there's a world where it could have kept going forwards perhaps. Can't quite do it. Still mid
Of course,
tier
has
1.
the level 11 for this fight too, so it's the second tier, and he has the Leandries.
Insane, Jerry.
Yeah, I bet it is. Dragon gonna go to the side of IG and then get up to 2.
That they do.
You know where the boundaries of a solution or problem lie.
That was actually very informative.
Yeah.
You ignored my silly rhythm joke in there, by the way.
What?
I said it should stay in 4/4, like all good standard rhythm.
Everything is 4-4 if you try hard enough. Yeah. Oh, some very fun riffs by Meshuggah, who use a 4/4 drum beat with a 7/8 guitar line, which is very, very cool. Afghan started up, and IG wanting to force TT to play to their tempo. Again, TT, are they going to be here in the right time? We shall see.
Alright, well, Beitran will go sugar, and try to fight his way into that Atakan pick. Can't quite as yet, but the Decimated Smash coming on forward. Like Mako is down about half HP. They've claimed the Atakan, and the Flares afterwards looking for the fight. Can't quite do it. Beitran drives through the wall and regrets his choices. That was a closed option. The tunnel was a bad idea. Hoya doing his best to dash around, get some value, but the feathers from Gala will find a few more, as it is a Raptor in the AD carry role, finding some serious damage setup, rooted up again. And Rookie continues to look for more. Birds in mid and bot fight absolutely everyone, blocking all over Thunder Talk.
Yeah, bird up, IG, fantastic team fight, claim the Atakan, and they completely punish TT as they try and come through the Tri-Brush choke point. This is going to be, hang on, is this going to be the double charge thing, by the way? Because it's really close to the tower. Do you get the double charge? No, it doesn't work like that. Maybe they fixed that bridge. But that's 2 towers very quickly taken. IG slam home.
Great space, and now suddenly IG find themselves very, very ahead. They've got 2 dragons, they've gotten some grubs, they've gotten that Atakan, they've gotten all these turrets. And we were questioning the first pick Sion, but the Shy's making it work in these team fights. He's being so obnoxious. And the rest of the team is delivering. Oh no, Rookie even immunes the ultimate. The Impale hits nothing. Trying to steal a statue and not a living person.
Rookie, great game on the Azir this time around in TT. They have been schooled. They have been left looking a little bit dumbfounded, not really having the tools or the execution to deal with Invictus Gaming on a rampage.
Oh, one extent just about survives. Has to burn everything to do it.
Setup's dead. Hoya's pushing on the other side of the map, trying to get an objective bounty, but, well, you've lost 2. You lost all your summoners and already carry, which is, you know, important. IG taking in a tower anyway, so you're still trading even in towers. So it's just the objective bounty you have
to
over
bleed
that.
This out even further. At least Hoya looking pretty strong on this. And best, let's have a look at Beitran here, who just gets caught out by Rookie saying, I'll have that. shuffles Baytron over the wall. He tries to flash on out, and Rookie just presses the Zhonya's button.
I mean, that actually might be a bit too far. Hey, enjoying it to see you. I wonder. Oh no, he has the full Zonya, so he cares. And Feather's died. Not flying away there.
Yeah, but what's a feather to 2 birds? They're like, well, I have quite a lot of those.
It's
Add to the collection.
It's called preening, isn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah, it's called preening, is what it is. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. IG, quick take of the dragon onto 3 now. Gives them, of course. The Chemtech dragons are legitimately very strong in this kind of composition, by the way. It gives you 6% tenacity per dragon, and then 6% heal and shield power as well, which also applies to, you know, Scion's shield, which is kind of disgusting there. His shield is going to go absolutely overload. They have 2 of them. It's buffed up by 25% by the Ruinous Atakan, so between 2 of them. Yeah, it's really hard. Look how large this next shield's going to be. Pretty big, that. Shy, pretty tanky.
Tried to go for the Excel impact of their base shot. Did not get that much value. The Shy just about surviving. Hoya went in and regretted the choice immediately, all the while their base went going to the backside as they try to find value, but 1xM just doesn't have the damage, and the rest of TT don't either. They've got thunder but no lightning, sound but no substance.
Look, the game is ending. However, I just want to say, the Shy does not live here unless he has the 2 Chemtech dragons buffed up for the heal and shield power on his Soul Furnace. That is one of the few times you will see the base stats of the dragon genuinely determine life or death there. IG, out team fight, out muscle, TT, lose the arm wrestle.
Do you even lift, bro? IG come in with game 1 victory. After those mid-game fights, TT just had nothing left to say about it. Invictus Gaming, confident. Set up a load of saplings, prevent any real ingress from Baytron down there until he's got a few levels for Dave, say a level 6 or something even. And by that point, I wonder whether the damage might be done. I think this...
The Rend does bailout dive hit.
Hear ye, shove in mid and bot allows IG to look for plays like this. It's another aphorism of League of Legends. No pressure in lanes leads to early tower dive. Flash out from JJ was looking to see whether Feather could also be an option. The tower heated up enough that needed to run away, and they get that kill. And now Feather's in danger. Look for the kill, flash to get that tower shot. Gets the kill anyway, and he'll stay alive.
Yeah, no, that was always the plan. When you see Gala tank that
Albi
first...
on the docket. Feather here as well. Hoya. Level 5, not level 6. The Shy's going to try and clear out this wave, but overcomes the rest of TD. Try and blaze one out. There goes the Ghost, trying to buy some time as he runs away from his own turret. Continuing to snip and skip as best he can. So he's going to try to execute to this turret.
He won't execute because he was hit by an Electro Harpoon. He just wanted to waste time. And it also means that no one is killing the wave there. Solo kill, technically, for Hoya. Wasted time, sadly, at Baytron and Feather. And he'll be able to teleport towards that top side while it's happening. IG go towards the dragon. The Shy, even if they get 6 grub, I just don't think they get to use them.
See whether they can, but I hear the warning, and it worries me too. Big CS lead to mid and bot. It's going to stick around, unfortunately, for now. We said the pressure could hurt. Rookie, though, gets run up by Hoya, but then he turns it around. The equalizer comes on down, but Baytron's kind of caught out in effectively a 2v1. In comes Yone, unbinding the soul. Glilting Lullaby comes on down to prevent Baytron from falling, but they haven't killed the Shy. Fate Seal goes into nowhere, flashes over the wall, but to what end? You're in the enemy jungle.
He's going to die
Yone,
one.
if you can find some time on turrets, it's just as we said. Going to be an interesting question about whether you can use grubs or not. We saw some of those stats coming out from the likes of TPM Law. I know the LCK cast was chatting about it a little bit earlier on as well, but grubs can often be a little bit of a bait if teams in particular are happy to trade it out for things like dragons. Diving potentially the Shy as they will teleport in for this. The Gwen doing their best to trade out a fair amount of work, but the Lulting Lullaby comes on down and the Gwen is dead meat. 1xM though hit with a Fate's Call and Gala picks up a 3rd.
But again, the Shy is dying a lot on side lanes. This is something that we know that can happen to him. But I think this is still an over-investment from TT. They call 4 people up towards top side. Corki's still farming bot side too. He can teleport up to the play if he wants to. And there are a lot of ultimates. Well, there was particularly the Leona ultimate used. Over, we now look.
I was like, what's on screen? And the answer was not a lot. I got baited. The Shy is actually in danger here, trying to run away.
He has W.
He can try and use the W, just dead. Into solo kill over to Hoya, and the TP'd in for that as well.
They teleported in. The Shy had W, and just doesn't do anything. You know, at some point during this cast time, I'm just going to say, perchance. That's going to be it.
Okay.
At some point. Well, you'll just have to wait for it.
A chance to dream.
No, it'll just be perchance.
Spot. Yes, your Yone and your Ezreal not having as much fun. But the Ezreal's now at least at 1 item. Has got the tier stacking. You know, you can be okay with that point. There's the Zenith Blade on him, but a Bramble Smash away. Hostile Takeover goes nowhere, but the Fate Seal is pretty good. Mako in danger. Will bail themselves out, but to no avail. They'll die. Nice pickup for Baytron. He's got some stacks running to potentially keep chasing.
And the Swat Seed misses. Batron could flash for a Q.
Fair.
And the biggest thing there as far as it goes between the 7-10 split of JJ and Gala, there was no cholesterol. No cholesterol to save the carry, and it feels like IG, they're getting lazy now. They're getting very lazy, and this is a problem. You can't afford to let TT get too much stuff for free. This is their power spike, the one item. The two items where it really lasts to as well. IG, they're not at their strongest just yet. They might look for a fight anyway, but JJ's way too far from his team.
He's split off, and the rest of the team's not going to defend him with flash away, but it's onto the equalizer! Nice read from Hoya, and the True Shot Barrage catch that rookie and Gala too. They will now claim themselves a dragon, and TT are right back in this game properly now.
Awesome. TT get themselves a fight on their power spike, and you're absolutely right. Great read by that equalizer. Would have caught, tagged the two members anyway if IG stood in the river, and then JJ, who wanted to flash towards his teammates, find himself on a red carpet. Hoya behind them now, can go in towards an Egos overheat.
Gala's in so much danger. There's a bailout, but I don't think he'll get anywhere near enough spears, and that's a shutdown onto this rumble. They get a lilting lullaby, and Hoya is on fire.
I think you'll find us Invictus.
TT right back at it with an avalanche of their own. This top side now looking very scary indeed. No equalizer quite up yet for Hoya, but he has now got an NLR in inventory alongside that Leandris. He hurts.
That is such a strong rumble. See Mako. Setup. Not actually sure he wants to be that, but be safe for now.
Has to ult, stays alive, 12 seed over, will tag on to Mako, who will burn away, but the Herald is taken, and so Setup job of body blocking, successful.
Yeah, and now say Herald with 6 grubs. And that make
Arm guard completed for Beichuan. Alongside that Phoenix Condex means he can look for some very aggressive plays. There's the lilting lullaby, forced to cleanse on Gala, but now he's still in danger. Fate's call will keep the other member alive, but it will not keep Gala up, who gets popped. Beichuan goes golden, immune to the Maokai ultimate. Now Rookie in danger on side. One side is the equalizer, splits the team apart. Mako down. They get the kill on the Corki as well. The Shy finally turns up, but can't even kill Hoya as he's stunned up to Thunder Talk. All right, into this series, and are pushing IG to the brink.
I think TT have paid back their loans to the bank of the Shy, who has given all the gold needed for TT to take fights like this in the mid game. 10 stacks on the Dark Seal for Beichuan. He is snowballed. This is his best jungler by far. And this is after an early game, which IG should have rolled over to a win. I think too many deaths went onto the Shy. At first I thought, okay, well they can trade across the map, but it's been way too much of a good deal for TT at this point. Inner turret taken with the Herald. 6 grubs will take them. The top turret, inner turret as well. That is a
Wait for
huge...
Rookie, who finds himself looking at his team with mild despair. 3k lead for Beichuan in the jungle now. The Zhonya's is completed, so that stasis right back up and available. Hoya looking for an angle. The equalizer on 3 again. The Shy's in the pit. That's a pullback on Feather. Dragon secured at the very least, but they lose the Corki at trade. Looking to turn this one around. The Shy just about alive. Got a bail on top of him. Looks to try and survive at least a little bit, but the Zhonya's means there's nothing to be done. JJ going to try and get some damage on the Feather as they keep on playing. 1xn just about alive, playing with range. As Beichuan looking to kill off Mako, who has nothing like the Final Fantasy VII Supreme Saucer magic left in him. They'll head right back on to that Atakan, and the lifeblood of the planet is all over the floor.
Oh, man.
You've got the QSS now done on the Yone. You've got 2 items done on the Rumble. It's not getting any easier.
Yeah, I think the thing about JJ's decision-making is, look, no amount of tank is going to be enough. Setup doesn't have flash. He's going to ult out, though.
Twisted Advance will still follow, so Setup likely dies, gets a bit of a shield, but it's still not enough. Nice little pick from IG, who managed to get behind the lines of TT somehow, some way, and pick off the mid laner.
Yeah, that
Does
is
it turn
nice.
into anything?
Shy in mid lane, not able to set up a play there. Good start.
Pen. Try and manage some of the MR and QSS and stuff coming on in, but interesting build choice nonetheless. Swellsea comes across. Solar Flare a little bit wide, but the equalizer still be on. They're going to keep playing for this. IG in danger. JJ just gets melted. That tree is burnt and turned into charcoal. Back to his base goes Setup. Did get taken low, but Shy can't finish up, and 1xn now gets to unleash. Looking for more. Lilting Lullaby is still available. Bailout on Rookie means nothing. 1xn continue to hunt for more. Mako in a 1v1 with the Ezreal. And Ezreal can't land the Mystic shots required to keep that one rolling, but all the while they'll just head on to the inhibitor turrets and look to break the game wide open. I think they can just end right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's the brain being broken wide open. I think it's the door being completely shut. IG, they have messed around, and I think they've found out. A bit of silly gaming here. Ult forwards from Setup forces the flash out of Mako. He is the only member left alive. JJ, I don't think he has the ability to wave clear. 6 scrubs marching to the Nexus. TT have done it.
TT come back after a rough early game. IG, disrespectful, lazy were terms we used, and I have to echo them. And Thunder Talk was sharp enough to punish and do so. doesn't it? Wrap around this bot side, though. Means 1xn and Feather are really shoved up. Burn the cleanse already. 1xn holding onto the full shot, but Feather has got flash. Now uses it and just out of range. Flash on forward. The Martial Cadence helps secure the kill. Mako Dragon on the other side, so they will take a grub. And they'll look to roam to the other side. Rookie hijacks the Glacial Prison. Dark Possession comes on down. The Maiden is summoned. Lots of those grubs come on forward. But the Shy thinks he wants to take this trade. But he's having to run away as that damage coming on forwards from the Maiden. Really frustration. The Ghouls keep chasing at him. We'll be able to Primal Surge his way back to something resembling HP. But suddenly the trade's looking a lot better for the Yorick with that Maiden available. Well, well, well. What an interesting position we find ourselves in. Was there any recent game where he really popped where he and Bwipo talked together, courtesy of Iris and Troublink? Well, caught in the Dark Procession, Rookie did not enjoy it. Being eaten alive by the Maiden. Stolen the Maiden. What does that make it? The Mother? Maiden on Maiden violence. Where doth thy Maiden lie? In a shallow grave, apparently, as Rookie helps claim that tier 1. Shy survives on the other side, and that's going to be a big old Maiden shove. Gala in danger, gets rooted by the tether. Focus Resolve doing his work. Gala just about survives the 4th shot, even with the Collector. Deadly Flourish just wide, and enough Honey Fruit to keep people up and running. Rookie's work here is done, though, with that Maiden steal. Gets to leave it chunking out a tier 3. Hoya's going, hang on. Why is my Maiden not doing this? Hello? Chat? Setup will claim a turret on the other side at least. Glacial Prison in a dream. Over we go into the pits. There goes the missed Glacial Prison. Set up side sets, but the Cataclysm otherwise. It's brutal. Flag and drag onto one extent of Feather means they are likely going to die. And Ignite back means it's still going to be a trade, but it's on to just the Rel. Rookie healing up best he can, but there's ghouls everywhere. It's a zombie survival movie. Hoya knocked up, knocked down. The Maiden there will finally burn out. The Shy hunting for some more. Wants to land a Javelin toss. Ends up being a 2 for 2. But with everyone else having to run away, should be Invictus claiming that dragon. Reminder, Rookie's AP will work on the Maiden because whatever the ult's scaling values are, they're converted to AP for Sylas. So the reason things like set ult is so silly on Sylas. There's a bobcat on my screen and just run around and demolish all the structures. Yeah, this Nidalee has been quite annoying. Looking mid lane, Gala. Flag drag to try and defend. Buys some space. Well defended by Mako and JJ. Phase 1 now in danger. Gets crashed down on. And the Sejuani desperately trying to run away. Cannot do so. Heartsteel or not, the Shy is in danger as Hoya keeps running at him with the Dark Procession and the Maiden of the Mist. Going to pick up some Honey Fruit. Lands another Javelin toss. Really wants to keep chasing this. Needs to dodge that Morning Mist, does so. Javelin toss just wide. Here comes Mako trying to make sure that the Hoya can't run away. Dark Procession will be crashed down over. Shattering Strike now comes on Ignite on top of Hoya, trying to find range to get in range for those autos and those last rights. Summon some more ghouls, but a hop on forward to pound to take down, and Hoya dies again. 1 and 3 on the Yorick, not enjoying the experience of Nidalee in this lane. Remember Yorick Mori. Sylas does it better. Kill off. And Atakan now on the table. Mako going to try and body block H1 out. He does have a flash. And an Arctic Assault to try and go down on here. Going to try and turn instead onto the Sejuani. Deadly Flourish goes wide. Still trying to play this one out. And they will surely secure this base. I'm going to try and get in range. Can't quite do so. There are the withdrawals available now as it was a voracious Atakan. Mako throws down the locket. Setup eats an empowered Q from the Varus. The piercing arrow does its work. Feather falls afterwards. Flash for the Cataclysm. And 1xN survives the end of days, but I don't know for how long. It is a disaster indeed. And Thunder Talk are eating a disaster. It looks like Pompeii out here. The withdrawals will allow 1 or 2 members of IG to come back to life afterwards, but all the while, everyone else is dying. Beitwam, it's Poro Bacon on. Fight keeps going. Hoya dies again. And they just keep running. Rookie. Stolen Karma Alt W. Oh, that's nasty. Just to secure the route. Head over to the Baron. And that is likely all she wrote for this game. Invictus Gaming came out of that second game angry. The Nidalee comes out. The Shy ain't messing around. Neither is JJ. What an insane job and performance. Beitwam, how many times do we have 4th shot not quite execute? Or someone body block? TT going to be kicking themselves for failing on those executions. Little too late now. With the Baron on top of everything else. Thunder Talk seem to have run out of spark. Shy on the other side of the Dark Procession throws a spear at 1xN. Doesn't mean all that much right now, considering it's the AD variant, but it's just a consistent poke. Auto. Spear into Sheen proc. Very annoying. Onto the Nexus turrets themselves. The curtains are called. Perhaps an apt ability to be using what seems to be the end of the game. A stolen Glacial Prison. Chunks feathered at half HP. Rookie will go golden briefly. Gets off that captive audience, but not before actually taking a fair amount of damage. Gets a decent Kingslayer heal, so should be alright. Needs to think about backing away, though, as a flash for the 4th shot. Brings down that rabble-rouser in Silas. They can't quite end the game. Deadly first sidestep by Mako. The Shy also begins. 3rd item just done for 1xN. Gone towards the Mortal Reminder to deal with some of the healing between Sundered Skies and Nidalee and Silas. Get it. It's just... does the items even mean anything at this point? It's a desperate defense. The curtain's called again. We got an additional act just about the last time. I'm not sure whether the Encore will be favouring Thunder Talk here. Swan Song. Get a deadly flourish. The Shy takes a lot of damage but flashes out, stays alive. The ghouls keep flying though. Also down to 10% HP. It has got a teleport to come rejoin and a primal surge where he has to flash away. The Dark Perception gets thrown on down. Inhibitor turret. Sorry, Nexus turret about to fall. Does so. Cataclysm in the backside means the Feather falls again. This Karma has apparently knocked up a lot of the bad variety. Racking up a bad juju will surely lead to a lot of stuff back though. Wait. Hoya with a double kill. JJ into the backside trying to get onto the Nexus. Trying to end it. Invictus Gaming, what is going on? The Nexus is bare. Just end the game. They just lost 3 members and TT are holding. Oh my days. Trying to buy space and time for the team to finish it. Don't quite do it. And Hoya gets to run people away. And Daney's like, what are you doing, boys? And I don't blame him. He's understandably a bit annoyed about that one. Aaron here. Surely. And they can run at the Nexus one more time. Daney like, just like, what was that fraud doing? Yeah, kind of. An oopsie was had. Nexus turret, inhibitor turrets all fall. The Shy chunked. Victor throws down that Chaos Storm. Doesn't get that much value. Into the back, let me go again. They've killed Avoya this time. 1x10 flash away. Glacier just goes wide. JJ getting turned around with 1x10 tries to get something here, but he's jumped on by Rookie, who will surely get another kill. Gala gets a triple. And Invictus Gaming on the third attempt to finalize the game. Do so. It was the charm. Game 3 win. Sides. Different chromas then. Of course. Level 8 now for Bin. That level discrepancy has been really problematic. Hang on, Slice dies, and that puts the side of Arla on top of Bin with a lot more rage to work with. Where's the W? There it is into the Ignite. Barry is still there. Can look to play this round. Still got the Ignite himself. Turret shot! Makes this tricky. Healing's trying to work with. Has his own barrier. Stops some of that Ignite damage, but Bin will get a heal. He's got his own empowered auto. So give the Slice dice. Slice away from Arla. Damn, it's close. Dominus. W back first for Bin, looking to go forwards now is Arla. Gonna need to get into that Dominus range to get to the W. Q comes on through. When's the W cooldown? Finds it. Looking for the Q. Conqueror stack. Slice dice! And Bin wins it!
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
For a long time. Counter jungling used to be so punishing. Yes, it did. Mount up onto Arla. Puts this Alistair in a difficult position. Sorry, the Ornn in a difficult position. I apologize. Caught out, thinking the wave was free. It was not. Saved the Ignite from earlier and gets some value. ADT. Shun. Looking for an angle in. Flash. Seasoned assist. Crash down. And the headbutt pulverized. Kind of being timed out at the same time. But Elk with no flash. Means he is dead to rights. Nice combo from Shun. Getting some vengeance against his former bottom lane. Of course, Shun in general, right? Replaced by BLG. It was Wei who took over. Down to about a third. It's a fair chunk to take on that support. Might make this grub fight a bit harder. Azir ult for Azir ult. It's the Macedonian Phalanx, and Knight's now in danger. Maybe asked to flash. Keep jumping forwards. On reminder, has no HP. And the Chains of Corruptions don't land, and so it's a quick pick onto On. Additional, with the Silas and the MF requiring big ults in a lot of ways. We've still got Ornn items and an Alistair. Who do scale exceptionally well, and Knight, having burned his flash and teleport, is just dead to rights here. JDG, get grubs. We'll get one extra grub, get an extra kill, can head back to the grubs. Just picked up the feat of warfare there. Nice sequence there from JDG. Ults for ult. Chains of Corruption for the Unbreakable Will. There are no chains on me. Will headbutt pulverize with the last ends of his ultimate. Still gets jumped on though, as that's a bit far missing. I just praised you. And Wei comes in and unpunishes in real short order. Shun and Arla were, sorry, Shun and Scout were around, so they thought they could do it. Flash on forward from Bin, looking for an angle onto Arla, who's now in danger himself. Has Call of the Forge God in a moment or two, but not quite up yet, so that means Bin can keep on running. Searing Charge Wei keeps Arla alive. All the way on, very low. Wei now in danger, does not have those Crescent Guards to wait with On, just out of range of the bullet time. But they get punishment for missing dying. Burned a fair amount to kill him off. And JDG was still in the area. Bin, though, should claim this first turret, I would imagine. Well, actually, with Arla turning back up again. Still on no HP. Shun forced off the Gromp. Overcome's missing. Bin really wants this turret. Call of the Forge God. Bin now in danger. Does have a Dominus. Headbutt, pulverize. Where's the rest of the team? They're TPing in for this. Arla knock up onto that Renekton. Now Bin, about to get flanked on as Scout finally arrives. Needs to find an angle on in here. Still got the Abscond, the Abduct, Headbutt, Pulverize, Chain Lash. And an abduction indeed occurs of Bin's health bar. He disappears there. He's just about gets enough mana back. I think he got a... might have been a biscuit, but I was thinking probably the... presence of mind, I suspect, actually, with this build. To get some sustain back. Short order here. So no contest from BLG. JDG. I've already claimed the feats of strength. Looking potentially mid as Shun is there. Scout, Abscond Abduct, steals the Chains of Corruption. Arla also here, puts a ward down. You see the Dragon down to 2000 HP. They want to try and steal this. Call the Forge God into the back of the pit. Miss Arla? Just call the... Takes too long. And the attempted secret agent Shun moment. Doesn't play out for them in the end. Scout, though, given free time as a result. Takes up that turret. Arlo with TP. Good wards to come to. They've got to warn that bush. They have to have an idea it's happening. Missing. Body blocking 3. Zir, not here. Headbutt, pulverize, but he's got to the option for those unbreakable will moments. Scout looking for an angle. Steals a big ult. It's a Shin's out option. Bullet time in the choke point is good. Knock up across multiple members down to 2000 HP. They get massive knockouts, but they still not taking the Atacon. It's beginning to reset. Bit of the backside. On goes Scout. Still got the Crescent Guard. Buys time. Goes gone. Atacon secured. They've got withdrawals to work with. It's worked out in the long run. Scout's going on forwards. Will finally be forced to withdraw. Shun on top of Knight. Emperor's Divide gets another withdrawal. They lose 2. Only get a couple back on and Wei dead. But with the ability to respawn and come back out, Missing will lose his. It gets interesting. Dragons just spawn. It would be sold for BLG, but they don't have a smite, and Pays is so damn scary. Flashing on forwards. Bing gets in. Pays cleansing. Trying to get one more. Can't do it. All of these withdrawals mean so little. Scout at least returns back towards the scene of the crime. Knight doesn't know he's here. That control ward is blocking off the vision, and oh, Knight, you've got no ult. That means it's surely a dead Emperor. Scout in revolutionary scenarios on the Silas. Ala goes to mid lane. And the secret agent planet with the kill lead, with the gold lead, but not with the dragon lead. They've got any withdrawals left? None. They've used them all. Huh. Wind becomes lightning, does land the marks available for the audacious charge. Wei looking for that angle on in, down to 2000 HP. They need to keep Wei out of the pit. Trying to finish it off, is taken. Kill onto the Shins out as well. Bin in danger, but the knock up onto Scout as Arlo goes looking for a call. Can't find that much as Knight knocked up, trying to find the Emperor Divide. Why not do it? Knocked up himself as the searing charge to the wall brings him low. Bin now in danger, slowed by the make it rain. And when it rains, you know what they say, it pours. Flash on forwards. Flash again from Missing to try and get an angle. Bin does kill off the Misfortune, but dies for the price of it. And the rest of JDG will punish the death of their AD carry with an ace of the squad. JDG, Jing Dong Gaming. We asked what strength they'd come in on, 2-0. Where would BLG be at? Potentially 2-2, depending on how this game goes, how this series goes. Scout is now 5-0-5. Engage comes on forward, Call of the Forge Guard, bounce around, knock up on tonight. They've killed off the Rel. LA still looking forward, flash and the abduct, the double Emperor's Divide! Knight's brought right back with them. No kicking the peasantry down today, is it? They'll drag you into the mess. Viva la revolution. The Azir really struggled to find footing in this mid-game. Quietly, he was a little elo held. Some of those prior series today, having a bad time. The teleports are flying on every hand. Pays around, slow onto Bin, throws down the dominance, but Arla is here. Call of Force God's beginning to come through as Missing finds the double pulverize, and the bullet time is timed indeed for Bin, who's put in timeout. And that Sin Bin, rugby style, might well lead to the end of the game. Trying to defend the try line with 2 men is just not doable. The full force of what feels like 15, and a New Zealand pack here to kick the asses of BLG, Knight and Elk. The carries nominally have to do the impossible, and I don't think it is possible. Jing Dong Gaming come into this series, lose the 1v1, absolutely crush the mid-game fights. They are victorious here. Set ourselves up for a very tasty game too. BLG, their struggles, the fractures in the strong front. That bot lane is going to be interesting, isn't it, folks? Yorick into the Scion. Should be a good matchup for the Yorick. Free farm. BLG just outscales. They do topside, for sure. Though Neferi will always be a threat to a lot of these champions. The Lily, I think, probably one of the few that can manage a Neferi. A lot of your damage is AoE and can't be blocked. The Lilting Lullaby. Not something I believe you can immune. Or can you? That's a question. Just call the pack if you send out the particle. Is that immunable? Uh-oh. Arla in danger. Jumped on by On. Has got the Maiden of the Mist here, trying to buy him some time. Can put a Dark Possession up around himself, trying to buy some space. Doesn't have the flash, but a lot of damage onto Wave, taking a lot of damage. Damage back from the Swell Seed. Should surely fall if the Rocket claims his life. BLG on the board. Nice play bot side. So you're talking... Well, I suppose it'd have to be Code Geass, wasn't it? Because there's not really all that much mecha action in there. It's about politics. The mecha's our budget. Sorry, what? Just continue on that line of discussion. Oh, Scout jumped on with the cocoon into the swirl seed. Scout does turn that around. Tower shot comes on through. We'll have to go back on down. And with the pool, that tranquil pool, the Elise the Spider finds herself drowning. Nabs that one. Knight. Look at this turret. There's no response. I actually think that's going to be feats of strength now to BLG. On in danger. Oh my days, that burst. Forced to heal. Needs to back away his way. Comes steaming over with the passive. Turret secured. Feats of strength secured for BLG. Over towards the dragon will now JDG look. There's a Herald available. Do they want to do something mid? That was Nico changing form. Not just a random white box on the minimap. Now down here. Looking to claim this turret. We'll do so. And bring JDG to a slightly more meaningful gold lead. It's only 600 or so 100 gold, but it's there. However, you are right. Lilia, Corki, even Caitlyn, plus a Scion frontline will just be better at 3 items. And JDG haven't really started anything off here. Pick up that mid lane turret. Herald survives. The Yorick win condition is a split. I do get worried for BLG scaling. Not quite the Muramana transformation. Bin drops out of the bush. On, in danger. Rocket belt away from the Tangle Barbs. Nice little steps there. Other side, Arlet in a 1v2. Can dart procession, flash on forwards. Lilting Lullaby means the watch out Eep will allow Knight to secure that kill. Flash burned, but the damage is done and Arlet dies for a second time this game. Is it just another loss for the Yorick? Over we go, on to the Articon. Gonna try and rush that down. He still have a Callista. JG gonna try and pick that one up. Teleport towards the other side. 3-manning this. There is no jungler. So that would just be Articon. It's only the withdrawal option. But when it comes up, we'll give them that opportunity to have the withdrawals coming in to that dragon fight. 2.5 minutes with it. And that'll be well in time for the Soul Point fight. So good timing for them. Price for Arla. Muramana transformation for Corki. The damage onto the Nico. Yorick, top side, shoving. Has TP of his own. Yet to burn it. They've got Callista stacks in this. Makes it a very hard smite fight. Need to try and play it out. Dragon secured. Well timed. Missing. In danger. Fate's call there as Shun will eviscerate over the wall. Way taken low on the other side. And now they can potentially look for something more. Yorick onto a tier 2 on the other side. Just delaying anybody who's going to be able to reset and come along. Been in danger. Big damage onto him. Spiraling despair along with the dogs. Putting a lot of bleed onto him. Keeps getting chunked out as the burn on him will drag him down to about half HP. All the while Yorick whacking away on that tier 2. Should be able to secure it, but no one really in time to come and defend. And Yorick meanders the dragon and say, well, if you want to come and threaten this soul, this Baron that'll be spawning now, there will be a Yorick on the other side of the map with TP as Knight is in danger. Arla's TP behind Knight has unfortunately met his match. The Hound are let slip. And even the most valiant in Knights must eventually face the Reaper. And Arla, with that TP, gets behind, gets the kill. And that's a big part of the damage for BLG, just not available. Arla gets flash ulted onto, tries to flash in turn himself. Now in danger. Gets Lilting Lullaby, overcomes missing. Looking for an angle. Knock up not onto way, but only onto Bim. But Shun is still here. Gets the knock up onto no one. They keep Arla alive. Elk chunked out heavily by Pays all the while. Failed pick on bit of a late reset from JDG. Did he just pick up a hull breaker on this Yorick? Hang on, missing. It's his clone. It's not his clone, it's him. He's dead. That's unfortunate. Hang on, turn around. Just about surviving. Can Wei pick him up? Does so. Oh no, JDG. That's problematic. the guy turning up with the pizza boxes. Madness is happening. What has happened in the house? Is it on fire? Arla, onto the tier 3. Dragon's still up. A Baron contest was had. No one is dead. Arla's onto the inhibitor. Yorick is Yoricking. Back towards the Baron we go. Draw the Eye of Sauron. They know the Baron's happening. The inhibitor is down. Dragon is secured on the other side, but JDG are playing the map wide, and they are playing it relatively well right now. The Leandri's burn is doing well to make sure that this Baron goes down relatively fast. Over comes BLG, looking to play this, missing back up in an A action. Needs to be a little bit wary, hit with the blooming blows. Elk also here, resets coming on through. Scuttle Crab secured, Scion goes charging on forwards. TP back, available for Arla. Shun, in some danger, but will have the call of the pack. And gets out to safety. Dragon for inhibitor. Drag BLG with teleport from Knight over towards that pit. Callista is not on it. Trying to scout out. She's going to be poke. Or is it Nico in the form of Callista? Yes, it is. Down to 3,000 HP. They could just smite it away. It's gone. Taken. Wait. Can look for a lilting lullaby. Fate's called out off the Scion ult. Flash on forward for the decimating smash. Scout just out of range. The intro comes on through. Missing might die for this, but will not. On the other side, there's a bit of damage going on as Arla gets that mid tier 1. He's split pushing. It's happening. BLG can look to threaten. Arla has got the Dark Procession and some scary, scary things to work with. I want to see a Yorick River Shen combo one day. Oh my days. Don't bring that Juju into my life. JDG playing not for the fights, but for the objectives. But the Dragon has started, and they've got Callista Spears being stacked. The Rend could be problematic. Wayne needs to come and find the smite! He steals it! It's mistimed! Shun now in danger, caught on the wrong side of the pit. He can go up over, but Knight is waiting. Gets away with the flash. What about the fight afterwards? How did that happen? You had the Callista! All the while, though, Arla on the turret. Claims that one. TP in trade. Knight needs to leave. He's caught the Dark Procession. Has to flash on out. BLG retreating as the reset are stopped. Arla killed off Knight. Scout now looking away. Needs to be careful of something like a lilting lullaby. Was already burned. Scout away. Arla will try and pick off that additional inhibitor. Can't quite do it. 2 inhibitor turrets down. The inhibitors themselves just about stand. What HP is that on? It's Corki has no Valkyrie, no flash, and no life. Last rites for Knight. Oh my days! Elise eviscerated. Quite literally with the help of the Fury there. Knight, coming on over. He doesn't have a flash. He needs to be a bit wary here. Missing. Sion's going to charge him, but hits the clone. As a result, gets no value out of the ult. All the while, though, mid lane. Hang on, Shun's in danger. Got eviscerated himself. Now Wade's going to get the turnaround, goes golden. Can he find value? Pay's going to look for an angle. Missing in the backside! And they blow up the Lilia. Bin in danger, tries to find an angle. The barrier keeps that the Callista alive. Oh, I'm talking about it's the Caitlyn. I'm getting confused by all the champions going down. They're going to try to get the kill onto Bin, who's now in talk at that Dark Procession. Will not be able to get on out of here. They get that one too. Last rites for Bin. Knight alone survives. And JDG can look to march through mid lane. They've got 2 exposed inhibitors. How far can they go? They might be to the end of the game. Is this it? JDG 2-0, 1 fight. That's all it takes. It's all it takes. Oh, Yorick Mori. The Yorick Wincon. It's here. Do they care about the other inhibitors? Knight's back up and alive. Another inhibitor down. They can't quite end it. But it's sure as hell nearly done. Teleport and bin in 30 seconds. They need to retreat. Knight. Dark and Dagger's come on through. Way is nowhere near. On to desperation attempt or nothing. Baron secured. 2 inhibitors down. 3rd one exposed. Soul in a minute. Wave clear right now between the Lilia, between the Scion Q and the double AD carries to force even against the Baron. Damage from Hui, though, is beginning to get problematic. No one really tanky enough anymore. As Arla just says, yeah, come on then. 2 people needed to deal with me. Missing's here as a minion. Ow. Arla shoves that wave. It's going to be heading to the base. Remember the double TPs. Looking for a flank angle. Shun onto the Dragon. Will use the call of the pack to get on top as Knight is in danger. Trying to fight out the 1v1. Will win it versus Shun! They've killed off the Caitlyn on the other side. Their Bin is in danger. What about the rest of the fight? They're going to look for the Dragon. Way low as Pace keeps hopping. Gets that one. Bin's in danger too. 5 HP if that. The spiraling despair! Brings Corki out of the air. Bin and Arla trading on out, but you don't win versus Corki. Death is inevitable. A slow, creeping maiden of death. On can't get the dragon. TP's in. And JDG in 40 minutes make it a 2-0. Wow. Are you not entertained?